fine, fine, fine. Very good, very good, very good. Very, 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 very good.
So listeners, we're starting off a little bit differently on this episode because Cabeza was the subject of a heinous attack on his person while he was traveling in Canada, presumably in retaliation for our remarks on our last episode, our friendly jibes, a little friendly teasing of our neighbors to the north.
Yeah.
And when Cabeza traveled up there, I'll let him describe it, but let's just say, be warned, this could be graphic. Cabeza, take it away.
You gotta remind me here. What was it that happened to me in Canada?
Well, the reason why we couldn't have an episode last week, we couldn't record, was due to what sounds like an attack by the Canadians on your person.
I'm so lost about it. I need. I'm so bad this segment of the show.
It's so bad. The trauma that Cabeza experienced at the hands of the Canadians is so bad that, and I don't blame him for this. He's kind of tried to wipe it from his mind. But you experienced food poisoning last week, did you not, sir?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I did not come back feeling too well. I think it was, you know what it is, Polo?
Gastrointestinal terror is what it is. By the hands of the Canadians themselves, the Maple Syrup Mafia did not like our friendly little teases at them. They did not like our jabs.
Yeah.
And they struck back in the only way they could by attacking your stomach.
Yeah, I went up there to Vancouver, beautiful city, indulged in a lot of the festivities of alcohol and food. Honestly, I think it was some of their lobster tail. I had these 2 lobster tails. A buddy of mine, we were like ordering at midnight. This is really what did it. And I saw him get these lobster tails. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like a great thing to eat at midnight. Come on, how can you mess up lobster, right? Like you just kind of cook it.
Well, apparently they found a way.
They did find a way. Well, it was more to just get back at me for some of the comments we had made against Canada. We weren't being mean.
Not at all. Not at all. There was nothing malicious.
Inappropriate.
There was nothing malicious that we said, but however, their actions towards you were malevolent to the extreme. And I will not stand for it. I will not stand for that aggression, man.
Man, are you gonna do a poutine now? I mean, are we at
Poutine?
that level?
Screw poutine. I don't want any Canadian poutine at all anywhere near me.
Poutine, yes, that's right. Have you ever had that?
Yeah, I have actually. It's all right. It's okay,
It's not
but
that bad. Yeah.
no more.
Yeah.
I am banning poutine. I am fully supporting Quebec independence, even though they sound like French rednecks. I am all for Quebec independence at this point. And I am boycotting all things Canada. I am canceling Canada. Canada is canceled.
Let's go through that list. What do the Canadians provide us? Besides, I mean, obviously we'll say maple syrup.
Actors.
What else do you think? Oh,
but they gave us Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox is a great guy. And they do singers too, right?
Yeah, Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah.
Canada gave us Justin Bieber.
The great Justin Bieber. Are you a Justin Bieber fan? Did they give?
I'm not a believer, but that may have been a sign of things to come in regards to the attack on you. It's like you can't talk about the Maple Syrup Mafia apparently without them directly.
Hey, I'm a little concerned because I'm going to Ottawa in a couple weeks, and I don't know if I should even be talking about this right now. I mean, I may have something. I don't know. They might lose my luggage.
Well, I genuinely feel fear for your safety at this point because
they're extreme. We got to be careful with those.
Canadian extremists are apparently no joke.
No joke. I mean, I may get like some nasty comment, like they won't say, good morning or thank you to me or something. I'm a little concerned on my next trip up there.
I mean, they've already poisoned you with their shitty lobster, which is apparently inferior to our American lobster.
Apparently so. I thought it was being that we're in Vancouver, seafood and fish, and well, maybe they're not a big lobster thing. That makes sense. I just thought maybe seafood up there, close to the water. Why not? I really loved your impression that you did a couple weeks ago on the Canadians. I think that's what really did it.
I know. I'm scared to do it now because.
But it was on point because when I went up there, I heard it.
Oh, you went up there and you heard the accent up there, eh? Hey, how about some of this tasty lobster there, There's absolutely nothing wrong with the lobster we have here,
I can't do it. I sound like I'm a Salvadorian trying to speak English.
This is just good wholesome lobster,
I'm trying to follow how you're saying it. That's hilarious, man.
I have a little bit of practice at it.
I'm just gonna say to our Canadian the real northern brothers, touche, my friends, touche.
But hopefully they
well
don't.
Played.
Hopefully they don't do anything worse to you when you're up there.
Like I said, I mean, they are definitely not to be messed with.
Well, I mean, what's funny is if our listener numbers are to be believed, Canadians comprise 2% of our listening audience, and surprisingly, the UK 24%.
Well, that shouldn't be a surprise.
Who the hell's listening to us in the UK?
I would listen to people like us from the UK.
You know who it is? It's our girl, Meghan Markle. She's
supporting us, man.
She's alone. She's isolated amongst those pasty-faced Brits, constantly slagging on her because she's American and she has darker skin than they do, which frightens and confuses them. She wants a little
culture.
Yeah, she wants a taste of home. Southern Californians. Yeah. She wants a taste of home. She's listening to us. I firmly believe Meghan Markle stands our podcast.
Well, we did have a little topic. Didn't we talk a little about the Queen? I think
when the Queen kicked off, we talked about it a little bit.
So and plus we talk about important political things that are happening in LA, not just sports. I mean, the sports is a big deal, but we have other things that we share with our audience all the time. I mean, come on now. We're here to entertain, but we're here to also teach
and inform. We're here to entertain and inform. I'm sure she was probably like, "Hey, I got a mail-in ballot. I don't know how to vote on Prop 27."
Oh my, yeah.
So because of us, I'm hoping she was able to make an informed decision on Prop 27.
Oh, she definitely did an informed.
Oh yeah, she's going out there and making those decisions there because with her being in England and all, she can't get that voter guide. You know what I'm talking about?
She probably feels very lonely. Oh
yeah, she's out there all alone and isolated.
Hey,
she needs to know how to vote.
I mean, I want to say right now.
Oh yeah. That's mixing into like a Minnesota accent. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, right?
I get that Minnesota accent crazy? Going there,
At some point I was married, Polo. I know that's a hard thing to believe that somebody would want to marry, Cabeza. But he was married at some point, and I'm gonna talk about him in the third language. In the third person. I should say. In the third person.
I was gonna say third language, like French or Russian or something.
I think it's just the confusion of trying to do the Canadian accent. It was
got you all discombobulated.
As one of my new languages too. But you're not gonna believe this. I'm just gonna say the adaptability of the Salvadorian people. My ex-wife is half Salvadorian.
Okay.
And she had a cousin, full Salvadorian, that went to live in Minnesota. Don't you know?
Wow.
Hey,
oh, wow.
Don't you know? I kid you not, Polo. If you did not, if she was in another room and you spoke to her from across the way, you would swear that she was not at all Salvadoran because she had the accent down pat, man. It was like she lived out there for 3 years, and when we saw her, it was like she had become a new person.
After only 3 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's dark. She has a whole, she definitely is Salvadoran. There's no ifs, ands, brown, beautiful, black hair, just, gorgeous Salvadorian woman, short, big-headed.
Got the Funko Pop thing going.
Very, very big mouths. Very we're beautiful people. I say that because I just had a bunch of Salvadorans yesterday and I was looking at my aunts, which we'll go into it.
There was a guy, this is completely random, there was a guy in the last season of Survivor
wait
who was Salvadoran. Yeah,
we cannot be random. We're never random. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The randomness. That's the randomness I'm talking about. I'm going into something I don't want to go into, but
Go ahead, bring it up.
I was Minnesotan
yeah.
by way of Apu from The Simpsons almost. But
Abu!
no, I was gonna say with Salvadorans, it's I was watching. I have Paramount Plus, so I've been binge watching old seasons of Survivor, and the most recent season that finished has a Salvadoran guy on there.
It's all right.
He's American. He's
Salvadorian.
American, but he's of Salvadoran heritage.
Was he?
Well, that's the thing.
Don't
He
tell
doesn't
me.
have a big head. That was the whole thing that threw me off. Cause
Really?
yeah,
Well, I mean, doesn't TV normalize? Like it makes your features. Because when I saw, you know, who has a big old head that I was very surprised when I saw her. The girl from The Office, Mindy. She's Indian. She's very
Mindy
funny
Kaling.
comedian.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, huge head. Polo. I mean, I was like,
Grande
I
Cabeza.
really felt like I need to go ahead and make sure no one can take my name because Mindy has beautiful girl. Nothing,
Change your name
but
from Mindy Kaling to Mindy Cabeza.
but you know her head. It's just like I guess for TV it's perfect. Yeah, you should just call me Mindy.
Mindy.
That'd be fine because it's like it's almost in reference. So, oh hey, Mindy. Oh hey.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Mindy
it's
over
okay.
there. Look at her walking along with that that giant noggin. You know.
Yeah, man, beautiful girl. No, I'm not taking that away from her, and she was short too. I almost thought she was Salvadorian, and I looked over and I told my daughter, "It's like, oh look, she's
Oh, you saw
from
her?
The Office."
You saw her in real life?
I did, yeah.
really?
I
Oh,
went
shit.
I went to a Laker game, and I got these nice VIP seats. Now, I'm not trying to say because I'm important. No, somebody gave them to me. Couldn't afford that, but they gave them to me. And as you're coming down, when you're going down, like in these, but you always, you know, you get lucky sometimes, and you see people or you meet people. And she was right next to me as we're going down the escalators with her dad, and
Oh,
we
wow.
had to walk out. So yeah, I just didn't want to like, I didn't want to do the whole, oh my gosh, Mindy, can I get your autograph? When I told my daughter, I would have done it if my daughter's like, oh yeah. My daughter was like, who? You know, The Office, honey. She's 12, by the way. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, never mind. I'll show you later. So it made me feel old for sure, you know.
It's not out. The
Is The
Office
Office
is
not cool?
no. The Office is super
Oh,
popular.
Polo, you're my age group. I think we need to take
I'm
at some
I'm
point.
no. I'm tapped into the pulse of today's youth, and I can
Are
assure
you
you
serious? Oh, I have
sort
a
of.
question.
But
Since
but
you are, because I
I do
learned
know
something new.
I do know a lot of younger people. I work and talk to them, and The Office is it's really weird. The Office has like had this resurgence in popularity amongst younger folks.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
I didn't know this until yesterday.
Hang on, I gotta turn my chair around and sit down and turn my hat backwards like a youth pastor as I relate to the kids.
Yeah, please do. Are you gonna do a rap response too?
Yeah.
Is that okay? So
Hey there,
do you
kids!
know-
I'm here to say my name is Polo, and I have a nice day. Wicka wicka wee, wicka wicka wah.
I almost. Sorry if I slowed it down.
No, never mind. What's up?
I was just slowing it down to the way you were talking. But what does BBL stand for?
Bubble. No, I don't know. I have no idea. BBL.
Apparently, it means
Is that like?
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
I didn't know you can ask that. Somebody made a comment, obviously younger, like in their 20s, like, oh, you had a BBL. It's like, okay, I didn't know. I didn't want to like.
Yeah,
had to go
I just
Google
looked it up on my phone. It's a Brazilian
know.
butt lift.
I didn't know that. Well, because nowadays, for those listeners, especially in the UK, there's a phenomena that's happening here, specifically in Los Angeles, that's really, really having an impact, more so on the younger women 30 and above, and especially in the Latino culture. It's this BBL thing.
Wow,
Polo.
really?
Yeah. Oh man, it is. I think within the past 5 years for sure. When I used to do the salsa dance, I mean, you would see these BBLs, and it was very, very apparent. You got to give Kim Kardashian the credit for that. But Latinos, we love curves, so we've always been. That's our thing, and that it's very prevalent, man, in our culture, and you see it in the older women. They have BBLs. I feel like I'm overusing the term. I should only be allowed to use it like 4 times. I'm gonna kill it.
There should be like a quota, like the amount of times you could say that.
It's totally rad. Like I keep saying, yeah, totally rad. And, you know, I'm just overdoing that term. But
Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah. It's very it's
Do you know anybody personally who's had the procedure done?
oh yeah. I
Really?
have cousins, yeah. Oh yeah.
Is
Oh
it?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Oh
yeah, brother. Let
yeah.
me tell you about the
Wait, I
Brazilian
didn't like
butt
that
lifts.
I was trying to do the Canadian one. It sounds kind of
We
dirty.
try to do
Oh
Canadian.
yeah.
You try to
I
do
was trying to do
Canadian
the
macho man.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
me. Oh yeah, Mean Gene. Let me tell you, I can't do Canadian macho
you
because
can't
he's
do
too
both, yeah.
American. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's a
oh,
tough one.
oh yeah. See, you know
Yeah.
people personally. It says butt lift, but does it actually like lift the buttocks, or does it make it stick out more? What's the whole? I'm trying to figure out what the appeal of it is, because that seems like a weird thing you'd want. I don't know if I'd want to mess with
Well, yeah,
the rear end there.
but
the rear
you're
quarters.
you're white though, and I say
That
that
is
with
true.
all true love.
That is true.
Because I had this weekend I was traveling for work, and this was a topic of conversation with my white colleagues from work, and I was trying to make fun of my colleague because he's from Texas, as white as can be. I mean, his hair is basically white. He looks like that one guy that convinced people that the spaceship was gonna pick him up and ended up killing themselves.
oh,
It's a pretty sad story.
the Heaven's Gate
He
people.
he looks just like
He
that
looks
guy.
like the guy. Does he have like the wide eyes?
Yeah, he looks a
Wow.
little intense. Yeah, I don't want to talk about him too much like that. But yeah, he has he's married, but he has a preference for women who are very fit. Kind of making fun of my guy because like, man, dude, you like people are pretty, women are really built, and this is coming from a Hispanic who loves femininity in a way of curves, and
So
we like
just
the
to
extra weight. We like the extra weight. We
just-
think it's beautiful.
but just to break it down on the
Thank you,
Spice
Paul.
Girl continuum, he's more of a sporty Spice guy.
Man, I got to give you props for that. I'm going to give you air pound for that, man. That's exactly. And we're more like a Scary Spice, but even Scary Spice after having a baby. That's what we like.
Kind of like
Don't ask me why.
Scary Spice mixed with a little of Ginger Spice.
Maybe just combine them both.
Yeah.
Combine their weight. We like it like extra.
Jerry Halloway and Mel B, put the two together. You've got.
Yep.
Okay.
You got it. And then throw in a little bit of a Mindy head.
Mindy head.
And then shrink them a little bit.
It's like.
I'm making fun of my Salvadorian people more than anything. Okay, we're just very, very not the tallest people, but our head helps us and gives us an inch or two for sure, just from not being a normal size head. So we were having this discussion, and I tried to make fun of my friend from Texas and say to my other colleague who's from Calgary, Canada, and I said, "Hey, he likes this type of woman. Look at her. He has looks bigger shoulders than him." And he told me, "Whoa, she looks great." And then I realized, I said, "You guys are both white." It's like you guys don't appreciate the curves, because then they made fun of me and they were saying, "Well, because you like these girls with all these curves, and I don't know if we need all that, in the back."
I don't know. Whoa. I don't know if we need all. It's almost like Hank Hill. I don't know if we need all that in the back there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
boy.
I mean, why do you need such broad shoulders? I don't get that either.
That's a little too much junk in the trunk.
Yeah. It's just but it was funny. We had a laugh. So when you said that, it just kind of reminded me of that. So
I'm thinking of it more from a structural integrity sort of way, because if you've got the front enhanced and you got the back enhanced, does it throw things out of whack as far as movement and mobility goes?
I don't know, man. These poor women, though, the stuff that they're doing for themselves.
I mean, they're kind
right?
of cantilevered along their abdomen. If that core section lets go, man, it's all over.
So just be aware, our fellow UK listeners, it's something that's happening or has been happening, and it's just a big thing out here now. It's really changed, and I'm being a little serious about it now. There's been a switch. It wasn't
been a switch from
the blonde like Baywatch blonde big boob kind of deal. It's going another way. In some regards, like I said, it's great because it actually is what my culture most minority cultures, anyways, are into. But I just see a lot of these surgeries, and some of this stuff is very dangerous. And they
I mean,
go to a
I've
lot
heard
of
of
them go to
people.
Mexico.
Yeah, I've heard of
Mexico.
people like having almost dying from a
Yeah,
bad operation
yeah,
from unlicensed Brazilian buttlift operators.
yeah. In Mexico, because nothing against the Mexicans, but give us a pack of beer and $300, and we'll do it. Kind of what a la George Lopez there.
It's a guy smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, we do it. We do it. See. Oh, by the way, I did expose him a little bit to the culture, and I really wish that you can put music here. There's this song called Yes, very good, very good, very good, very, 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 very good, and it's like a real banda song.
Fine, fine, fine. Very good, very good, very good. Very, 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 very good.
You never heard it?
No,
Because
no.
I know you listen to the banda music.
I,
in the
well, I'm more
weekends.
of a reggaeton guy, but
Oh, are you really?
oh yeah. I'm serious. I'm
Is
being
there
serious. I'm
any
not
way
joking.
that
I
you can
actually,
put this.
yeah. Me
It's
and
called
Daddy Yankee are like this, man.
Oh my gosh. Is there any way that you can listen to the song? Because they got a kick out of it. And I was like, it was a little joke that we did. The reason why this song, Las Mulas De Moreno, is funny is because Latinos, when you're going to go ask them as an American, white American, going to go ask them, hey, amigo, can you dig out a pool? And they'll be like, fine, fine, fine. Very good, very good, very good. Right? And hey, amigo, I need you to go up in the roof and put the satellite. Oh, fine, fine, fine. Very good, very good. Like, it's just funny. Okay. It's funny because we're just very positive, but we don't know anything. So I can imagine somebody going to Mexico. Hey, yeah, BBL. Fine, fine, fine. Very good, very good, very good. No problem. It's just.
So it's more or less they just say yes to everything and then they figure it out.
They say
later.
yes to it, and then they'll just do it. And it's like, hey, man, my butt cheek is kind of leaning to the side. And by the way, Polo, I swear to you, I've been to like these clubs and they have a butt cheek just hanging, or it just looks
Like
so
one's like drooping lower than the other one, or
and not just that, there's some women who you can clearly tell because their legs are real thin, like rails, and then it just doesn't look.
it doesn't fit with the
It
thighs
doesn't
don't
fit.
get thicker and yeah.
And so the women will talk smack, and the men will just keep gawking like, "Oh my god, oh my gosh!" And so I was being made fun of by the Canadian and Texan that what is it that you like? You want to put a drink on it, Jay? Do you want to lean on it? Come on. I was like, well, what do you want on your shoulders? Like, do you want her to bench press you? Like, do you want her to like pick up heavy box? Yeah, I see your face is like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, yeah. If she could help me put away stuff for Christmas and Halloween, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
It's like have
more like,
have her open the pickle jar.
yeah, yeah. And we're more like, well, let me just lay on this thing. It's like a pillow,
It's like,
well, yeah, fine. Very good, very good, very good.
very good.
No, but it's funny because very, very good. Anyway, so yeah, that was something that I want our UK listeners to be aware of.
So the Lakers, Cabeza, really doing gangbusters out there right now.
It hurts my heart. Hold on.
0-5 the last I looked.
What's even worse is what is your job in basketball?
To score points, win, and then ultimately win the championship.
It's really put the ball in the basket.
Yeah.
Basket ball.
That's
These it's like they forgot. They're like playing soccer or football. They're just it's like you got a bunch of players that typically play baseball and said, "Hey, go ahead and start shooting."
it's like as if Michael Jordan was a baseball player and then he switched to play basketball.
Thank you. That's even better, Polo. You're right. That's exactly what it is. And the sad thing is that they're professional basketball players.
Not only professionals, but these are supposed to be really talented ball players. I mean, we're not talking about like the Toronto Raptors or somebody like that. This is supposed to be. No, think about it. You've got LeBron.
The Raptors are good. It's not like you're talking. Honestly, the Lakers are at the bottom. There's
Yeah,
like
they are.
nobody
They are.
bad.
They're like the worst team
There's
in.
nobody bad that you can compare them to.
They're the worst team in the NBA right. I was gonna say the Orlando Magic, but the
Oh yeah, but I mean Orlando.
but I wanted
come
to get
on.
a dig in against Canada there. So
Are you? Didn't I tell you I'm going in 3 weeks?
well, you better be prepared for whatever awaits you when you get there.
All I know,
Uh,
I'm staying away from seafood.
Because again,
Oh yeah. Oh.
again, Canada is canceled. I'm canceling Canada. But the Lakers, I mean, they've got Anthony Davis, who's injured a month or two into the
talking
season.
about Mr. Glass, Mr.
Yeah,
Glass.
he's injured. You got LeBron James, who apparently is just coasting at this point.
Not at all. You know what? No, he's not. He's
It
actually gonna break the record for Abdul-Jabbar in most points.
that's great, but
Fun fact.
that's nice. But they haven't won a game this season, so
It's just so. Here's the thing. You know how we complain about Dave Roberts?
yeah,
So the game of basketball has shifted where the players have a lot of influence on what the decisions that the executives are making.
oh yeah.
The problem is LeBron and AD wanted to bring in their boy Westbrook,
Russell Westbrook.
which I am a big fan on other teams, not the Lakers. I don't want to say Westbrook. Something's going on there. It's tough to play with a LeBron. You know, he just needs the ball. When he passes, you got to be ready to shoot. So the fact that he pushed that now has caused a big problem because they gave him so much money. We could have had 3-4 good players, like the old players that we had that we won a championship. One of them was Caldwell Pope, who's balling in Denver. Could have had even I forget his name. He's like a fashionist. He's in Washington Wizards. Man, Kuzma. There's a bunch of players that we could have kept and not have spent so much that could have that worked with LeBron and an AD. And Russell Westbrook, man, it's just
He's been kind of a letdown
So
so
here's a
far.
question.
So far,
he's just not gonna ever fit in with them.
yeah. Well, I mean,
He's coming out.
Do you think the thinking on LeBron's part was, if you get those core three together, then that's what you need to take it to the championship?
Look, the guy's a triple-double machine. That being Westbrook before he got there, he wants a ring too. So it just felt like, yeah, it's gonna fit. No worries, we'll make it fit. Now here's the question I have for you: should the NBA execs continue allowing these players to have an influence, or is this a lesson for NBA executives to maybe say, you know what, it's not going to work?
It's a tough call because there's a lot of precedent for it in the NBA going back to the 80s and Magic Johnson, even, where he was starting to make player decisions on that team, you know? So
Magic.
Yeah, so
that is true.
And so
hey, props to you on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call to make because it's not without precedent. LeBron James is a highly respected, highly paid athlete. And if he says something, that's going to carry a lot more weight than whoever the coach of the week is for the team.
True.
And he's probably making those demands by, sheer force of personality at times. But it's not like he's doing this in a vacuum, and he's not the first person to do it. There's a long precedent of this. So it's a tough call. I mean, if it was me and I'm an executive and you're saying, hey, you want to get Russell Westbrook in here with you and Anthony Davis, let's make it happen. I mean, even I would say that, yeah, let's do that. That should be an unstoppable trio right there. But so far, granted, it's early in the season, but so far it's...
Remember last year, though, was rough, too.
Yeah, but the excuse last year was...
They were hurt.
They were hurt, and there were injuries and all this other stuff, and that's been kind of the story this year. That's Anthony Davis is hurt. Russell Westbrook, it's like...
But you understand, Russell acts like he's hurt because he gets his feelings hurt. So he says, I have a hamstring. You know what? I had a lot of respect for him, but then he acts like a baby when he's on the floor. Like, there was a moment in the preseason game where this guy, Patrick Beverly, who's the dog of all dogs, love that dude. He's a warrior. He's just always in your face causing issues. I remember there's like a quote one day, somebody asked him before he joined the Lakers, how do you prepare to take LeBron James? And he was just like, who? What? Like, he just kind of tries to make it seem like it's no. He's my daughter's favorite player since he was in Houston.
Oh yeah.
So that mentality is awesome for the team. And he tried to corral the players. I don't know if you saw this video. So Patrick was like, hey, come over here, come here, come over. And then he called Westbrook, and he was just kind of being a little baby. And
Uh,
I don't like that. Being in the NBA, being all this stuff, and maybe this is just my 90s type of mentality growing up, you're gonna get criticized. The trolls are out there. And so it comes with the whole territory. You know, sure, people can be insensitive, but nobody's forcing you to take that route. You can easily walk away from it. So why do you put yourself through that, knowing that that's part of the whole deal? So I guess the conversation for me, or at least the topic we have, is, you know, do these athletes even have a right to complain when the fans are upset? I mean, is that
Well, I
okay?
mean-
Maybe don't throw water at them. 'Cause I remember-
yeah. Well, you
Don't-
remember
don't need to
you remember
spit at them either.
Meta World Peace, you know,
Love that.
was he had the interactive fan experience going on back in the day,
I'm
but
a big meadow world peace.
But I think we're in the
Yeah.
same boat. I mean, I for me, the NBA in the '90s was like that's what I imprinted on with basketball.
Yeah.
So that style of play, the speed of the game, guys didn't flop around, you know, well, excessively. They didn't flop around. They weren't like European soccer players.
Unless
You
your
know,
name
you-
was Bloody Divac.
Well, again, European.
Bloody Divac.
He was of European, so it's like he brought the soccer game into basketball. It's like if someone blows on you, you
Tony
fall to the
Kukoc.
floor. Yeah, coach. Oh man, coach. But the same thing. But they trash talked each other mercilessly. They were ultra competitive. You know, they weren't afraid to throw elbows around. Imagine like Westbrook playing against the '90s Detroit Pistons. That's the like Bill Laimbeer would just lay out anybody for any reason. He didn't give
Well,
a shit.
And I guess I'm not trying to be insensitive, but like, I'm not saying don't take a break. I love the fact that we can talk more about our emotions and how we feel. And I'm gonna tell you, Polo, in the Latino culture, we don't have that. We've never had, you know, hey, I'm feeling sad. What? ¿Qué cabrón?
Yeah.
Trabajar, like, go put you to work, you know, like there's nothing like, there was never in my household. And even to this day, it's kind of frowned upon.
Yeah,
You know,
it's similar.
There's some
in-
stuff there. There's some stuff there that
that macho culture. It's similar and that's the weird thing, because you grew up in Southern California, which is a far different environment as far as white people are concerned. It's a far different culture than, say, the Northeast.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the Northeast, the Southeast,
Yes.
middle. It's the dynamics are
Olsen.
different out there, but they are similar in a sense that, especially if you're working class, you don't talk
Yeah.
about your feelings. If you're hurt, you work through the pain. Keep on keeping on, basically. And so there's
Right.
a similar thing at play. I get it to an extent, but when it comes to players who are making millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, both in pay and in all of these sponsorship deals that they have, at a certain point, it's like, listen, I understand, hey, your mental game needs to be as sharp as your physical game. At least in my mind, you have to balance that against the fact that you're being paid to do a job. I'm all for, hey, take a mental health day if you need to.
Yeah.
But by the same token, that can't be your excuse all the time, because if that's your excuse, then you need to go to therapy, man. You need to take some time off.
Yeah.
You need to take weeks, if not months away, and go work on your shit and then come back and see if it's still a fit for you. It seems like they're trying to have the best of both worlds where, well, I'm going to keep making these tens of millions of dollars while really not doing much and just kind of jerking everybody along instead of going and doing what they actually need to do.
It's Shaq. I have him for my Alexa, and apparently I gave him some attention.
Wait a minute, you have Shaq's voice on your Alexa?
Yeah. Hey Shaq, what's the weather like today?
It's a good day for some hoops. Currently in West Covina, it's 77 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. You can expect more of the same today with a high of 85 degrees and a low of 57 degrees.
Paul, are you okay? Are you choking? Are you having a... I'm a little concerned. Should
coolest
I have
thing
to
I've
call
heard.
the ambulance?
That's
What's
the
wrong?
coolest. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard, man.
It's Shaq. Come on now.
Shaq telling you the weather. It's a
Shaq
great
tells me
day
it's-
for hoops.
And it's funny too because it comes with jokes. He'll
Really?
tell you, yeah, he'll make a joke on Charles Barkley.
Oh,
No,
cool.
he's never won a championship. I don't know. I see now I'm sounding like a Canadian Shaq, you know?
Yeah.
It's
I'm sorry. I'm still like,
you're
I was
stuck.
not expecting that in the slightest. I was expecting maybe him just to say the temperature and that's it. But
He throws a little bit in
yeah,
there.
man, Shaq
Hey,
is doing
any way to
duty.
make money. He does
Man.
everything. He
But-
was DJing out in Queen Mary for Halloween
Oh, he was?
this weekend. Yeah.
God, Shaq is cool as shit, man. I like Shaq.
You know, he's one of the people I want to meet.
You know, he used to, way back in the day when Twitter was still new, he had an account on there when he was playing for the Lakers where he would say, hey, he'd either post a picture, like this is before smartphones even came along, where like the only way you could access Twitter was like on a Motorola Razr type stuff. He would say, hey, I'm at a bus stop on Olympic or wherever it was at, right? The first person who touches me gets free tickets to the game.
No.
Yeah.
Meta would do that too, but no way.
Yeah, Shaq was active on Twitter back in the day before it really took off. And he was really cool with it too. That was always his thing. He's like, "Hey, I'm over here. First person to touch me gets free tickets." Which, can you imagine an athlete today inviting people to come touch them out in public? You know?
Well, I was gonna say one of the things that I didn't know he did that, but I really like Meta World Peace because he used to do that. He used to say, "Hey, meet up to play football at the beach here in Santa Monica, and I'll give you tickets." Obviously, there's some issues there with Meta, but the fact that he would kick it and have play football and in the beach, and then you just speaking of Twitter, Elon Musk, bud.
Are you gonna make?
Have you heard his latest barrage about? I don't know if this is true, but since you're the expert on Elon Musk, there was something on Twitter. He said that there was a conspiracy about that. There's a way to grind my wheels when you start talking stupidity about conspiracy stuff, and it's like this didn't happen. Now, if you start saying, Elon, your points with Cabeza are really gonna go down, and I know I'm a very important figure. I got people now in the UK, so just letting you know, be careful.
Well, he's in a pickle because he way overpaid for Twitter by about a third, $44 billion, which is weird because if you think about it, like the average cost of an aircraft carrier, like for the U.S. government, you as an American citizen paying for an aircraft carrier between $5 to $10 billion.
All right.
So an aircraft carrier, one of the most advanced warships in the world, the centerpiece of contemporary U.S. naval theory. 6,000 people. It's how we project power across the globe. At most, $10 billion for an actual tangible piece, an actual thing. And this man paid $44 billion for vapor, basically. He paid for a user base, I guess, that you can monetize. He's in a pickle because the reason why he came back, because he was going to sue him in court, and the reason why he came back is during Discovery, they were releasing all of his texts. With his texts, you could see just how much of a dumbass he really is. You're like, oh, wait a minute. This guy's an idiot just like the rest of us. He just happens to have a lot of money and people listen to him. So he wanted to shut that down really fast. So he went ahead and, okay, I'm going to conclude the sale of Twitter. And now he leveraged debt to do that. He had to leverage debt against his stock price in Tesla.
Yeah, he had to sell some stocks.
He had to get funding from the Saudis and other people. And now he's got to pay these. One, he's got to save money. He's got to pay these debts. I think what he's doing is he's going to lean into the audience that was cheering him on, which would be more on the conservative side of things, the more conspiracy-minded folks. So I think what he's doing is
definitely want that.
Yeah, so he's trying to lean in to get more engagement.
That fuel?
I think he's feeding it to get more engagement from them to help keep the service going, because he's trying to balance some stuff right now, because you got advertisers who kind of want to pull out and say, listen, if you're going to go free for all, I don't want my brand associated with this kind of stuff. That's his thing, though. He's got to save money. He's got to keep it going. He has to offset potential losses, which I don't think will happen, like potential losses of people leaving the service, by pulling in other people who will be further engaged with it. And so I think that's who he's kind of leaning into.
I just don't understand the way they make money.
Well, I see some apparently they didn't make much money. It was, they made money through
advertisements, right?
Some advertisers, maybe some deals they made. Like they used to show like Thursday Night Football on Twitter, which was weird.
Really?
Yeah. Like I'd go on there and you'd see like there's a live football game going on right now. But they'd have like sponsored tweets, they'd have like promoted tweets, things like that. But they never were able to monetize at the scale of, say, Facebook or YouTube or anything like that. They always seem to be the ones that were lagging behind. They also had, like, what's weird about Twitter is it had the smallest footprint had like the smallest user base, but it had this outsized influence because all the celebrities were on there, all the news organizations are on there. Anybody with any kind of public profile tweeting something, it got amplified far beyond where it would have on Twitter. So that's kind of what the usefulness of it is. But when you look at all their earnings reports over the years, they just could never monetize that as well as everybody else. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Twitter going forward. Because I think you're going to see a lot of people threaten to leave the service, but they won't because they're addicted to it. Hell, the guy who owns it now was addicted to Twitter and he bought it. The joke used to be that I can't believe this is a free website. And now it's free for everyone except for the guy who paid $44 billion for it.
It's almost like it's Halloween and this is happening around. Oh, it is Halloween.
Yeah, it is Halloween.
You got your costume ready to go?
No, I don't do Halloween that much anymore. When I was growing up, Halloween was like a day. It was one night. You didn't think out your costume weeks in advance. And back then we had the shitty costumes like with the vinyl.
You talk about the ones that
the vinyl with just had a picture.
Mask.
Yeah, it was a vinyl smock with a picture of what you're supposed to be with that plastic mask with that damned rubber band around it that cut into your face that you couldn't see through. But it was just a way to get candy. And then I never jumped on board the whole adult Halloween thing.
Well, I'm gonna partake in festivities.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what are you gonna do?
Well, I do decorate my house. I might go out trick or treating a bit with my youngest daughter. Nothing too crazy.
Does your neighborhood do well for that, or do you have to go someplace else?
Really. It's been like a dying art, right? So nowadays people do this trunk or treat. I don't know.
I haven't seen a trick or treater literally in years.
Yeah, it's so. Have you heard of trunk or treat?
No.
Trunk or treat is where parents get together at a school and they decorate the trunks of their cars, and kids come around and get candy from each of the trunks.
So they just walk from trunk to trunk and get candy?
That's it. Yep. And then they'll have like music and it'd be like a whole little festival, but it's all in one location.
Wow.
That's how it's evolved. At least that's how we do it here in California.
That's
Southern Cali.
It's like trying to make trick-or-treating the most efficient way possible. Because
it's like, I'm going to go hit up 10 trunks.
Dude. And then you're done in like, what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Like, half the appeal of trick-or-treating back in the day was walking around the neighborhood and just seeing how different houses were decorated, who was handing out what. But you were hanging out with your friends and just joking and laughing with them while you're walking around, seeing everybody else's costume. But it was the actual walking around.
Right.
And just, oh, let's go over here. Oh, have we hit this street yet? No, let's go over here. Or people coming up to you, dude, you got to go to this address. They're handing out full-size candy bars. And, you try to make it over there before they ran out.
There's still some neighborhoods that do the whole thing where you go around. There's some nicer neighborhoods where they'll do that. But, yeah, like there's neighborhoods where people really go all out and like a place where everyone goes to get candy. And so it's known for that. But for the most part, this trunk or treat has taken, even, before COVID, it was pretty popular. I was very surprised. Like, what? You decorate? This is only like 4 or 5 years. You decorate the trunk of your car? And some of it is pretty cool what they do to them, right? You get the little, it's funny. They got little tombstones and...
But it's not like someone like decorating their entire garage with all the lights and the music and like the smoke machines.
No, some people go all out on their little trunk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. With like the little strobe lights and stuff and the scary music. And...
Some people, not all.
That is. No, I had no idea that was a thing.
If you ever want to feel a little dangerous, you should go to one of these things and just kind of.
Oh yeah, because a middle-aged man just milling around a parking lot full of kids won't draw any suspicion at all.
Middle-aged man is not suspicious at all. As long as you don't carry a briefcase, I think everyone will be okay with you.
No, I'll just dress up like a police officer. And well, on that note, that'll do it that'll do it for this week's episode. I'm Polo. As always, I'm with Cabeza.
Fine. Very good. Very, very good. We'll see y'all next week.